A new head coaching favorite has emerged for the New York Giants, and that coach just talked about Jaxson Dart in a gushing type of way. We're going to break that down on today's video. Prior to doing so, please hit that subscribe button and help us get to our goal of 99,000 subscribers so we can get to 100,000 subscribers. If you love the Giants, you want multiple free videos every single day, hit that sub button right now. You're locked into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Let's talk about it. A new betting favorite has emerged for the New York Giants. It's actually a name that was once a betting favorite for this team. Then some odds have changed, but they have turned back to what they started as. And Mike McCarthy, the former Dallas Cowboys head coach, the former Green Bay Packer head coach, and the longtime quarterback and offensive coordinator in the National Football League, is now the betting favorite. Here is what the odds look like at the time of recording this video. According to Sports Betting AG, Mike McCarthy leads the pack at 3-1. What I thought was surprising was Mike Kafka, the second best odds to be the next head coach. I would be shocked if Kafka was that guy. Then we have our guys, Chris Shula and Klint Kubiak in third and fourth. Joe Brady with the same odds as Kubiak. I'd be really shocked if the New York Giants went back to the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator well. Then you got Jeff Hafley right there, and then two long shots in John Gruden and Jason Garrett. Let's stay on Mike McCarthy here as he actually spoke about Jaxson Dart recently, and I thought it was pretty interesting on the Pat McAfee show. Shout out to them. McCarthy said, "I love the way he plays. When I evaluate quarterbacks, you look at the in-the-pocket ability versus the out-of-the-pocket. And what he does naturally, you can't teach. This young man has an extremely bright future. Every quarterback coach in the United States would love to coach this guy just from the way he plays. But he's just got to be conscious of his availability. The two most important abilities are accountability and availability. And availability is number one. You've got to be available to your team. It's decision-making. So if you can improve your decision-making, that's going to improve your availability. We all love the way he plays. Don't get me wrong. We love the physicality, but he's got to get out of bounds. And I'll just say congratulations to you, Mike McCarthy. You just passed your first interview with the New York Giants. I say that a little tongue-in-cheek, but we know the New York Giants' final straw for Brian Daboll being fired was that he did not take care of Jaxson Dart, that he put him in harm's way, that he was running him on quarterback powers at the goal line when the team was down multiple scores in the final moments of the fourth quarter, and then him suffering that concussion against the Chicago Bears, I believe it was, causing him to ultimately lose his job at the head coach. So Mike McCarthy's a smart guy. He knows the New York Giants decision makers and most importantly ownership want to keep Jaxson Dart healthy. And he's saying right now, I love him, everything about him. He's the greatest. But we got to make sure that he's healthy because if he's not, it's going to hurt this football team. My question to you is this before we take a deep dive into Mike McCarthy, what he's done, would it make sense, and my overall thoughts on him being this team's head coach. But I want to hear from you first. What's your one-word reaction if the Giants were to hire McCarthy as their head coach? Sound off in the comment section. My one-word reaction would be understandable. And about 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe a month ago at this point when we filmed a video about McCarthy, my one-word reaction then was, and I still kind of lean that way, but I also can look at this clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Shout out to Friday Night Lights, best show of all time. It's understandable why they would do this. Think about all the things we've heard. Think about all the things that are coming out of the building that the New York Giants are looking for in their next head coach. They want an experienced coach. That is Mike McCarthy. He's been a head coach in this league for a long time. They want a guy that's put together a winning culture as well. He's done that. He's won a Super Bowl. He was the Super Bowl 45 head coach champion with the Green Bay Packers. He has 174 wins, 112 losses, and 2 ties. He's coached a lot of football games. So he's experienced. He's won. He was the head coach for the Green Bay Packers for like 12 years, establishing a culture there. He's been kind of that culture setter for a couple of different programs now. And I think most importantly, he's an offensive mind with a lot of experience that is willing to hire a offensive coordinator to call plays, but he's someone that's also gotten the most out of quarterbacks before. You look at what he's done recently in Dallas, looking at the 5 years he was there. His first year, he was 6-10. Second year, 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. If the New York Giants were to win 36 football games in 3 seasons, I don't know the type of things that I would do. I also know that he ended the season, his career at Dallas, at 7-10. But in 2024, Dak Prescott only played in 8 games. And in 2020, when he went 6-10, Dak only played in 5 games. So when Dak played the majority of the seasons in 21, 22, and 23, they won 12 games. And when they did win 12 games, they were at the top of the league in points per game, 31.2 points per game. Number 1, 27.5 points per game. Fourth, 2023, 29.9 points per game. First. So you had a 12-win streak of 3 years where you averaged more than 27.5 points per game, and you were in the top 4 in scoring in each of those 3 years, and 2 times being at the top of the league. One thing that I thought was pretty impressive when I went and did a deep dive into McCarthy was he won a lot of games with Dak Prescott, 36-22. On average, they would be 11-6 in those games. That's what the winning percentage would be. But he also found a way to win games with backup quarterbacks when Dak Prescott was out due to injury, going 13-13. And I think that paints the picture fully of a football team and what a head coach can do to win games when their signal caller is out. Like, whether you like Mike McCarthy, whether you don't, I don't know where I stand on this at the moment. But I understand it because all Mike did in Dallas was have an explosive offense that scored a lot of points, and they won a lot of football games. And they had 3 straight years of 12 wins. And I think if I told anybody that the next 3 years the New York Giants were going to win 36 games combined, I think we would all sign up for that. Does that mean he's going to do that with the Giants? No. Can he? Sure. Will he? I hope so. But there still is a risk there. And there was a reason that he was fired after 5 years where he had a well over 500 record. And you look at the Dallas Cowboys this year, I know their season is ultimately done now after losing to the Lions, but there's still a pretty explosive offense there with Schottenheimer running it, but they also do have elite talent now with George Pickens at the wide receiver 2 spot. A couple more thoughts for me coming up on this topic, but first I want to let you know this t-shirt, our first ever Giants Now t-shirt with the logo embroidered by Smitty here at Chat Sports. Get it today, chatsports.com/GiantsNow shirt. It's chatsports.com/GiantsNow shirt. If you love this show, if you know anyone that loves this show, get them a shirt for the holidays. When you put it on, take a picture, send it to me on social media at @MarshallGreen_, and we'll feature you on the program. I can already hear people in the comments, but Marshall, he never won the big game. He was no good in the playoffs. The Cowboys didn't do anything. And that's fair, but the Cowboys haven't done anything with a lot of head coaches since they last won a Lombardi trophy. They were 1-3 in the playoffs with Mike McCarthy, but with the Packers, 10-8, winning a Super Bowl. I like the fact that this head coach has coached in 22 playoff games in his career, and he's won a Super Bowl. Most importantly, though, I like how he elevated Dak Prescott as a quarterback, and I think that he had a hand in really Prescott going from a guy coming out of Mississippi State that was known as a dual threat to turning him into a demon inside the pocket. If you take the numbers that Dak Prescott put together for Dallas in that 5-year stretch where Mike McCarthy was the coach, and you average those out to a per 17 game basis, essentially what did he do on average in a season under Mike McCarthy? Dak only threw for almost 4,600 yards and 270 yards per game and 34 touchdowns to 13.5 interceptions while completing 67% of his passes. If Mike McCarthy could continue to fast-track the development of Jaxson Dart like he did with Dak Prescott, I think we would all sign up for that. My overall take on Mike McCarthy being the head coach for the New York Giants is this. It's not my favorite move, not my favorite hire, not number one on my list, and maybe not the most sexy. But you know what? Sometimes not the most sexy hire is the best hire. And I do know this. With what the New York Giants are looking for, experienced, winner, CEO type, culture builder, respect guy, a guy that's going to demand respect from his team. He checks a lot of those boxes. He's won a lot of games. He's coached a lot of good quarterbacks. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, elevating all of those guys. Loves Jaxson Dart. He talked about that. Seems like he checks a lot of the boxes that the New York Giants are looking for at the head coach spot. Will he be the coach? I don't know, but we'll break it down every step of the way on this program and on my social media. So give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_, and we'll see you later.